What's good? What's good? What's good? What's going on? How are all of my great ones doing worldwide? It's your man King Nabby the Great. Last night I saw Coco for the first time. Pixar has done it again. This is a film it's based in Mexico. It's a film about a Mexican child named Miguel who aspires to be a guitar player, who actually aspires to be a great musician, great singer in general. However, his family is against music because of his great-great-grandfather, who in the past left their family to pursue his music career and never came back. So now the entire family are shoemakers, and that's what they're about. Any kind of music that goes on, whether it's the mariachi players, in the streets downtown, or whether it's in the home, wherever it is, no. His abuela, his grandmother, she's not having it. She's like, get it out of here. So Miguel, of course, has to keep his aspirations to be a musician on the low. He can't do it in public. He has to go up in his room and bring out his guitar that's a replica of his hero De La Cruz, and he has to play his guitar, in secret. Now, the story takes place during the Day of the Dead, and through certain circumstances, I don't want to spoil the entire thing. Miguel goes off to try and find that inspiration so that he could play during the festival at a talent show, and he ends up entering the land of the dead. Now, Coco, from an animation standpoint, is a magnificently beautifully animated movie. You have not only the town in Mexico, which looks beautiful, it looks authentic, but then also when he goes into the land of the dead, the amount of colors, the amount of the way that the buildings are laid out, even how the dead spirits look in their bones, everything is just gorgeous and magnificent. I saw some behind the scenes things on it, and just to see the amount of work that it took, I mean, you could see that definitely on screen. It's amazing. I love Coco for the overall theme of the film, which is to go after your destiny, go and get it, go chase your dreams and succeed. That theme is throughout the music and is beautiful. And also, in addition to that one theme that is also magnificent, is the importance of family. The importance of not only your loved ones that are here and alive and, giving praise to them, but also never forgetting and loving and giving praise to your family who has passed on, who are now in the spirit world. Who, as long as you remember them, as long as you keep them in mind, they will never die, which is basically the theme of Coco. Now, Coco the film, it starts off, the comedy. It's an all-around great film. There's really nothing that I could think of to take away from it. It has a great storyline. It's warm-hearted. It's charming. It has ups and downs throughout the movie. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, so I don't want to say the exact things that happen right at this moment. It also has a nice air of comedy, a comedic sense to it as well. It's a very funny movie. Even if you're not familiar with the Mexican culture, this movie ingrains you into it, really delves into it, and brings you a part of it and helps you understand exactly what goes on Dia de los Muertos and how important it is to the Mexican culture and to the people of Mexico. And that is just truly beautiful. And from comments that I've seen on videos that I've done not too long ago on the Coco trailer and the music of the film as well, they were spot on with the culture and very authentic with it. And and I'm very happy that Disney did that and they didn't mess that part up. Speaking of the music in the film was beautiful. Of course, it's based on a child that wants to be a musician, and it's just magnificent. From Remember Me, Poco Loco, I love that too. I love the duet that his great grandmother did, toward the end of the film. I loved all of the music in the film. It was beautiful. It was wonderful, moving. The film in general is so emotionally moving. I know a lot of folks told me that I would cry. Okay, I have a confession to make. My eyes welled up. They got watery. I did drop some tears. at a certain part of the film, which I'll get into after I give my rating, when I give maybe a spoiler or two during the conclusion. But it was just an emotionally moving movie, a great movie to watch with your family. I mean, my daughter, she even said, while we're watching the movie, when we were in the Land of the Dead portion, she's like, oh, I hope it's like this in real life, that, our dead loved ones go here because it's amazing there. And then she hugged me and her mom, my wife, she hugged us both, or tapped us both during the film, and was like, I'll never forget you guys, I'll always remember you. So it touched her heart, it touched my heart. One of the standout characters as well is his abuela, his grandmother, who she's just that typical grandmother that a lot of us have in our families, or if we don't have our grandparents, maybe our older aunts and whatnot, who are just, they don't take anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not going for nothing. If they feel a certain way, that's how it's gonna go. They're taking no BS from nobody, and I love that about our character. I loved all of the characters in the film. And due to the magnificence of this film and the greatness of this film, maybe one of Pixar's greatest films ever. That's up for debate. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I have to give Coco the fire emoji. Yes, Coco is an instant classic. You could go see it once, go see it many times. I saw it yesterday. The official release is today on the 22nd. I saw it last night. They do a pre-screening in one or two, screens the night before the official open here in the States. And it was a packed theater even last night. So I know throughout the holiday weekend it's going to be crazy. I hope it does extremely well at the box office. Go see it once, go see it twice, go see it 3 times. I know that I will. And after watching this film, I just have to let you know that all I need is a plane ticket. All I need is a plane ticket, and I'm gone. I'm going to Mexico. I need to stay for at least a month. I was thinking that I may stay for a week in one city, maybe in Oaxaca, to visit the people, maybe help the people however I can. The earthquake that recently happened, God bless them. I want to speak to them. Also, I want to, I'm interested, me being black, of course, in the Afro-Mexican culture down there, and the people down there, to see, what to get a taste of that culture as well. That's something that, that I haven't been aware of for a long time. So I want to learn more about that as well. Then like a week in central Mexico. I'm not sure exactly where. I know a lot of people are saying Guadalajara. A lot of people are saying Michoacan. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. So one of those places I'll be for the Day of the Dead. And, I can't wait to go. Please subscribe so that you can stay in tune, because I will document my trip to Mexico, everything that happens there. So please stay in tune, because it's not going to be like tomorrow that I'm going, but it may be a few months from now. So please subscribe, please stay in tune, so that you can see the videos when I put out, the vlogs of my entire trip in Mexico. I cannot wait. I wish I could go tomorrow. Now, to get into a few spoilers, just a few thoughts that I wanted to say about the movie that I couldn't really say, without spoiling the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, stop the video now, mute it, do whatever you have to do, mute it, and just watch me talk like this. Alright, whatever you have to do, here come the spoilers. The main motivation was that, Miguel found out that his great-great-grandfather, or he knew that his great-great-grandfather was a musician, and that the music was in his blood, and that's part of the reason why he wanted to go on and be a musician himself. Now, he thought that this musician, because of the guitar in the picture, was the musician De La Cruz, who's the greatest singer in Mexican history in the movie. He has this signature guitar that actually the end of the guitar replicates one of the skulls that that we see on the faces of people during the festivals of Dia de los Muertos. And so he's like, okay, De La Cruz is my great-great-grandfather. I know I'm destined to do the music. De La Cruz's key phrase was, go in and get your destiny. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically go out and get your destiny. Go out and take what's yours. Go out and chase your dreams and accomplish them. And Miguel lived by that. Now, once he reaches the land of the dead, he goes in there because he stole, a guitar. And when you steal from the dead, you end up transferring into that realm. So he goes into that realm looking for De La Cruz so that he could get his blessings to be a musician back, on Earth in the physical realm. He sees his great-great-grandmother, and he sees a lot of the family that he had pictures of. And they're all like, no, there's no way that we're going to give you our blessings to be a musician. No music in our family. Okay? So he meets a man named Hector. Hector has been forgotten by pretty much all of his family, and he's just hoping that his daughter can maintain his memory, and that if he could get back just one time to the physical world during the holiday to see his daughter, that would make his world, he'd be able to, disappear and go off into the unknown regions and be happy. So he meets up with Miguel and they make a deal, okay, I'll help you find De La Cruz. I know him. If I help you find De La Cruz, you have to take this picture of me back to my daughter so that she can remember me forever. Now, there's a twist in the film where he realizes that, and this was such a great twist in the story, great, excellent writing, to where Hector actually ends up being his father, and the reason why he never returned after he left, after he left Miguel's great-great-grandmother is that he was murdered by De La Cruz, who was Miguel's hero. So Miguel thinks his great-great-grandfather, who was his hero, is a murderer, who's not only a murderer, but he's a faker. He's a total fraud. He's not actually the greatest musician. He actually took all of these songs from Hector. He stole the songs from Hector and then murdered Hector so that he could take this music and go off and become, known as the greatest singer in the world. So at that point, Miguel is totally crushed. However, once they clarify the story, he realizes that, hold on, Hector is the guy that left his family, and his daughter, of course, is Coco, who, of course, is Miguel's great-grandmother. And then he realizes that Hector is his great-great-grandfather. He ends up getting, the blessings of the entire family, including his great-great-grandmother. He gets back to the physical world, and this is this super touching part. It's going to make you cry tears of joy when Miguel starts playing Remember Me for his great-grandmother Coco, who begins to remember her father, who sang that to her when she was just a young child, just a young baby. And she pulls out the picture of him that it had his face torn off before. She reattaches that portion, and now, of course, he'll be remembered forever. We fast forward to the next year, Dia de los Muertos, and we see, Hector and his wife, and they're all dancing together and enjoying the time. And it was just a beautiful moment. Made me drop a tear. Made the gentleman next to me, he was crying. Everyone in the theater was just emotional, and it's great. I'm so happy, that this film is doing so well, especially from so much that I've heard from my Mexican brothers and sisters. You were right. You steered me in the right direction. This was a great film, one of the greatest Pixar films of all time. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. I kind of already know how you feel. It's your man, King Nabby the Great. Be great in life, and life will be great to you. Sea excelente en la vida, y la vida será grandiosa para ti. Creativity, abundance, and prosperity to all. And I'm out.
Mafia soul, mafia soul,